Most of your brain is kind of like a little bouncer at a nightclub. Nothing is gonna get in there without permission, but that permission is not logical. The permission for our brain is emotional and tribal. It has full alignment with our identity. So when somebody hears a message that conflicts with who they believe they are, it physically hurts. And we call that cognitive dissonance.
It's July 2025. Now this video is inspired by several different topics, things that I've discussed over the years in detail. Now these topics all are connected, and the topics are from a first-hand perspective, being on the inside of these things. And one of the topics that I'm going to be tying this all together with is something that everyone is experiencing every single day, including you. And it's causing a lot of unnecessary stress. Invisible foe, something I've talked about over the years as well. Now, before I get into the meat and potatoes of this video, I want to share a personal experience that happened not too long ago. And it all will tie in together. So, not too long ago, I needed a product. And so I went to a store, and I'm going up and down the shelves, and I see the exact product that I needed. And there's a little digital electronic price tag under all the products. And I look at the price and I thought, wow, this is a good price. Now there was a store employee to my right, and I just kind of leaned over, like just took a step, leaned over, and asked a real quick, simple question. They answered, and as I turned back, the price had changed. And he's standing beside me to my right, and I asked him, I said, did the price just change? And he didn't know what to say. What's he gonna say? And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going crazy here. I'm losing my mind, right? So I just went up and down the aisle there and came back, and the price had changed again. So, like, cheaper. Thinking I'm losing my mind here. Didn't say nothing to anyone. I took what I needed and left. Now, why am I sharing this, what you might think a crazy story? Well, in today's world, AI is controlling prices in real time, and it's changing prices. There's many different things it's considering: time of day, even who the customer is, because throughout stores there's cameras, facial recognition, the whole 9 yards. And so learning that after this event that I just shared, personal event, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm not so crazy, because prices are changing in real time, perhaps even in front of you. And how many people really pay attention? This new way of doing business is insanity, because people, for example, there's a product you want to buy, you buy, say, every week, and you budget for that product, and all of a sudden the prices are going up and down and all around. You have no idea what you're paying, and it could even change from the time you take it off the shelf to the time you check out to pay for it. Prices are changing, and this is probably leaving a lot of people in a very uncomfortable situation when it comes to checking out. Now, according to official statistics, people are reporting that they're living paycheck to paycheck, and 60% of the population, the official number, is doing that. Chances are the number is much higher because this is relying on self-reporting. So 60% of the people are admitting that they're living paycheck to paycheck. So consider that there's other people who are not as honest because they're embarrassed or whatever. The number is probably much higher. So going to the grocery store, you can't even count on what's in front of your eyes when you take it off the shelf. This is forcing a lot of people to make a lot of hard decisions. Do they buy this? Do they buy that? Maybe just go without. And more people are going without. And I said, even in a recent video, how you can see the stress on people's faces. Standing in an aisle, looking at a product, and you know in their minds, they're doing math, trying to figure out, can I afford this? Also, at the same time, do I need this? And you're seeing more and more of that all the time. There used to be a time where shopping, say for groceries, you just grab what you need, throw it in the cart, keep going. But now it's completely changed. And I'm not going to even talk about this nonsensical shopping online and having someone pick up your groceries and having it delivered to your home, although it's going to play a part in all this when I start bringing everything all together. Now, people for a long time have been using, for example, their credit cards to buy groceries. So they're going in debt using a credit card just to eat. And doing that is setting themselves up for extreme failure in the long run, because you're never going to catch up. Now, here's the thing. For example, grocery stores are saying, hey, you can buy now but pay later on your groceries, which is really no better than buying it on your credit card. And keep in mind, prices are going up and down, so are they adjusting to the new prices? Nobody knows. But you can basically buy food on credit, which is terrible in itself. And not only that, we see the prices fluctuating and going up more than going down, but the quality and quantity has gone downhill. The quality of most anything today is garbage, and the quantity is becoming less and less. Why is all this happening? Well, I've discussed, for example, inflation and how inflation happens. I've talked about this in videos and even shorts. And I've also mentioned shareholders, people investing in different companies, whether it be vehicles to even food, products and services. The investors want maximum return on their investment. And this is what's really pushing everything, because especially in today's world, by law, they are entitled to have maximum recovery of and profits for their money that they put into, say, a business, a grocery store. It's no longer, I've said this before in a recent video, about quality, quantity of a product or service for the customer. It's about making sure that the shareholders are happy. Everything has shifted. And this is causing huge stress among the people. And people are trying to deal with it. They're trying to cope. This AI now controlling based on algorithms and who's buying the product or service is really harmful. But here's the catch to all this. Yes, the companies are implementing this AI to appease the shareholders, make sure that, they have maximum whatever. But the people using the technology of AI and ordering online using these different apps, and everything's apps this and apps that, even to have a coupon is an app now. People using these things, they're the ones to blame. Because if they weren't using all these apps and ordering online and using all the services available online, like to have your food delivered, how lazy can you be that you can't even go out to pick up your own fast food? You're too lazy to cook, you're too lazy to pick it up. What we need is someone to come along and say, hey, we're going to provide the service and we will feed you. We will hold your food while you bite into your cheeseburger. And I mean, how much more lazy can you get? Now, the younger people, for them, all these apps and everything else, this is, for them, from their perspective, it's been forever. But for the older people, this is all new nonsense. So yes, you can be angry at this information. But if you're using apps and ordering stuff online, well, you're a big part of the problem. Now, one final point that I want to really highlight here, something I've talked about extensively, is the interest rates on all these things, like buy now, pay later, credit cards, and even financing, say financing a vehicle or something. The interest rates of, say, for example, credit cards have skyrocketed. Now, I've shared a story where there was a time I went to court for a subprime lender, and they were asking 49% interest. The courts, and people would default on payment, and they would have to go to court, and the courts were saying, no, this is like loan sharking, this is no, and they would default to the Courts of Justice Act 4% and 6% pre and post. There's no way that you're getting 49% across the board. I went and I argued, fighting for 49% for the client, and I ended up getting the highest award for subprime lending at 29%. And I was really mad at myself because I wanted 40. I always get what I want. When I went to court, I almost won, got what I wanted. Didn't get 49%, I got 29%, whatever. And that really put me on the map, because apparently, from what I understand, I was the first person to ever have that kind of success. But what we see now, for example, with credit cards, your normal everyday prime credit cards are around the 30% mark interest. That means if you default, they go take you to court, whatever, they're getting 30% on pre and post interest. And it used to be that was bad. Now, am I saying that I had anything to do with that? I don't know, I doubt it. But this is where we're at now. And people are financing food on credit cards and buy now, pay later. There's going to be the costs are going to be in there, interest as well. This is where we're at. Things are getting a lot worse. And it's easy to say, well, if you comply, well, there's some things that you are a must, like having food. But if you're complying with all this AI, even using AI to ask stupid questions and to draw pictures or videos or make videos using AI, you're contributing to the problem. Then you are the problem. And that's all I'm going to say. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.
When you speak wisdom to a fool, All they hear is foolishness.
Listen to this and write it down if you can't remember it. You're never going to outgrow warfare. You simply must learn to fight. I hear people saying to me, oh, when is it going to get easier? When you die.